Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody joining us here today. Welcome to our Excellence United broadcasting on the ACHEMA Pulse 2021. My name is Lars Plüschau and I'm the Director of Global Customer Support at Fette Compacting, and I will be your host for the next 20 to 30 minutes. Excellence United Lifetime Efficiency. What does that mean? When you decided to buy your equipment from the Excellence United, you decided already for the best products in the pharma process. All partners of the Excellence United offer a large variety of products to support you during the complete life cycle of your machine or product to achieve the best performance at any time. Please follow us in the next minutes to learn about some of our products we can offer to you during the life cycle. During this broadcast, I will be supported by my colleagues from the Excellence United, and here live with me on stage is Matthias from Uhlmann and Alan von Glatt. Could you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, Lars. Yes, my name is Matthias Meyer from Uhlmann PAC Systems Germany, and I'm team leader in the customer support management. And it's a pleasure to be here.
Thanks, Lars. My name is Alan Kurz, sales engineer from Glatt Binsen, and I'm glad to be here today.
Thank you. And to make our round complete, I would like to introduce remotely, not on stage, Sarah from Harro Höfliger. Could you please introduce yourself too?
Yes, hello Lars, hello Alan, hello Matthias. A warm welcome from Almersbach. My name is Sarah Schünemann and I'm product manager in our customer service at Harro Höfliger.
Thank you, Sarah. So the Excellence United company offer a large variety of services and products to get the maximum out of your equipment. As important as the right setup is in the beginning at the installation, it's also very important that you have the right setup during production. So during the next minutes, each partner of us will show you one or two products of their portfolio which can really support you during the life cycle and to get the best performance out of your machine. We will start talking with Harro Höfliger about the United development. Then Glatt will explain you something with planning and installation, followed by Uhlmann talking about ramp-up service and Productivity Plus. And then myself will present the performance consulting. We will finish with Sarah again when she explains to us a little bit about modernization and our remote service tool, the service portal from the Excellence United. During these presentations, you have the possibility to send us your questions with a live chat. We will try to answer these questions either during the presentation or afterwards. But now let's start, and Sarah, please guide us through the United development process.
Thank you, Lars. Our focus is on a comprehensive and holistic service. We support you during all stages of a project, from your initial idea all the way through to after-sales service. We assist you from the development of a machine in the laboratory through to production, enabling us to customize the development process to your specifications.
Comprehensive service is part of Harro Höfliger's All You Need standard. We provide support from the earliest stages of your project. For example, our specialists can advise you on your product idea or help you to optimize your device for production. Experienced pharmacists and a state-of-the-art laboratory for a full array of analyses are at your service for the early project phases. 10 clean rooms offer optimal conditions for trial runs and machine acceptance tests with active product. Harro Höfliger's services guide you from the development of optimal processes and their technical implementation to far beyond the commissioning of your machine. This allows us to minimize risks right from the beginning and help you to reduce costs. Harro Höfliger, by your side, throughout the full life cycle of your product.
This close cooperation ensures efficiency during the entire life cycle of a machine. Now, my colleague from Glatt will guide you through the topics planning and installation.
Thank you, Sarah. I will now have a few words about planning and installation. What is important for an efficiency project and installation planning, and what are our strengths? The integrated consulting and planning with a focus on technology in plant construction and equipment manufacturing with a single point of contact. We provide high efficiency through global network of experts, service technicians, and well-organized structures. All of that leads us to individual and sustainable solutions from idea to turnkey production, project planning and realization. When it comes to fast and efficient project execution, you need to consider three key aspects. There are challenges. They could be, for example, shorter product life cycles or diversification of product range. Aims with reduction of time to market or investment risks, and methods with plug and produce or scalability. To ensure efficient project planning, the perfect balance between time, flexibility, and costs must be defined. The aim is to focus on an efficient and accurate concept and planning phase to avoid high costs for small changes later on. Ideally, 60% of the changes should be made during the concept phase, 30% during planning, and less than 10% during implementation. The realization of a project from planning to installation is divided in 5 steps. We start with consulting. Investments in new production equipment require extensive expertise and qualified personnel. Let's talk about project design. No matter whether a retrofit or new equipment is involved, only a comprehensive planning in an early stage will provide you with the desired result, custom tailored to your production. Project management. In all projects, project management and control are the keys for our approach to achieve the defined goals. Project realization, we supply the construction and installation management and coordinate all activities in close cooperation with you and the subcontractors, all the way to your project completion and handover. And last but not least, qualification. Having an integrated concept right from the start of your project is an important requirement for GAMP and GMP compliance and an efficient qualification process. To further optimize this concept, we have integrated ESIT as a new building block in our equipment design. The equipment is designed in order to increase in-house testing possibility and to reduce on-site installation efforts and costs. In summary, all efforts in the planning phase contribute over proportionally to the increase in efficiency during the installation phase. I hope I've been able to provide you with a brief insight and now hand over to my colleague Matthias from Ullmann.
Thank you, Alan, for the very interesting information about your planning installation. Now, I would like to take up this point and present to you how we at Ullmann PAC Systems carry out the transfer of the new machine to the service department and support the start of the production after the machine commissioning and SAT. And at this point, exactly is where our ramp-up support begins. So, let me explain how we are supporting you during the essential startup phase of the pharmaceutical packaging equipment in order to reach fast as possible your plant efficiency targets. During the ramp-up phase, we support our customers in regular plant communications for any kind of questions, as for example, about machine setup, parameters, material, spare part management, FMECA, and many other topics. Supportive to this, we perform a weekly audit trail analysis based on machine data. By this short stopper analysis, we identify the different stop categories and define recommended actions. During the regular communication, the latest set of analysis will be reviewed and next actions for the coming week will be defined in the complete team. So, let's have a look on the focus on the trend. By this method, improvement possibilities will be identified based on the data and directly addressed according to their priority to increase the production time right from the beginning at the first time. Hereby, possible deviations are detected at a very early stage and corresponding corrective measures are defined and implemented in a sustainable manner. The permanent monitoring and data analysis, as well as the sustainable optimization of those short stop reasons, increase the machine efficiency, which will be tracked by the trend analytics. Precise the audit trail analysis. If during the ramp-up support some specific items will be identified, additionally we can support by our service engineers or operational excellence managers. Here we will perform any kind of deep dive analysis directly at the production equipment at your site. Regular production analyses are so available during the complete machine life cycle with our Productivity Plus service, which is extremely valuable for the life cycle efficiency. In such an on-site analysis, the complete value chain is considered for OEE improvement recommendations. Here, all factors such as machine, personnel, as methods, materials, and the environment will be analyzed, as there are always different conditions. Reason for stops can be found in also regional differences, for example, like humidity, which is a very important for the paper quality. Also, personal skills can be detected during such an on-site service, and the individual training concept could be offered afterwards. Just by the complete picture of all influences in the process flow to the maximum efficiency can be reached. As a premium supplier of pharmaceutical packaging machines, we see it as a matter of course to support you from the very first minute of production. And finally, on that point, I would like to hand over to Lars to continue with performance consulting.
Thank you, Matthias. Very interesting presentation. Dear customers, you have now seen already some products of the Excellence United, how we can help you to improve your performance during the life cycle of your machine. Let's talk now about performance consulting of fat compacting. Maybe you ask yourself some questions like, performance consulting, what's that? How can that help me? And do I really need something like this? Well, if you ask me, I would say it depends on the business situation. But if some of these pictures, which I will show you now in the following, remind you on anything, you should talk with us. This is not an island group of the Pacific Ocean, neither it's a picture from the rover expedition on Mars planet. It's simply a compression roller. And of course, this compression roller doesn't only ruin your brand new set of tools in minutes, it also destroys all your parameters you set with your machine. Looking at this cleaning procedure, I would say this will give some irritation to your electrical components in the machine. This picture actually is not really funny because the machine was still operating when we arrived, but it's dangerous in your life. Here you see an example how far you can go when you want to use wear parts as long as possible. And I think here the time is already more than exceeded. And finally, my favorite picture, I don't have to explain that here is a lot of potential to optimize the product loss of this product. But of course, these were funny pictures, but most of you, or let's say all of you, probably have a production like seen in this picture. But even if it was pretty clear with the pictures before that you could optimize, even here we can probably improve your performance. So if we look at the feeding, there you have a lot of variety for the setup of the feeding system because of the different characteristics of your product. So just starting with the gearbox, different speeds and 2 turning directions. Looking at the feeding sealing, different sizes and also different shapes. And if you look at the feeding wheels different shapes, and they can even combined in a different way. So alone here, you have hundreds of possibilities to find the right setup. And that's where performance consulting can step in. In general, we differentiate two different cases of performance consulting. In case one, your machine is not performing as good anymore as it did in the beginning. And you can't figure out why. You tried different things, but still you can't achieve the same results you had right at the start. The second case is you think the machine performs at its best, or at least you accept how it performs, or you might even not know better that it can even perform any better. That's also the reason when performance consulting can step in. So how does it work? We send a tabletting application expert to your facility, and he starts analyzing your situation. In case one, with you together, we find the mistakes and put the machine back to the setup it had in the beginning, and your performance is back to the level of the start. The second case is very similar. In that case, after the analyze, we suggest some improvements and also make a commitment with you together what we think we can achieve on your machine. If you agree to that, we start with the changes and we measure ourselves against the promises we gave. You only have to pay us when we achieve what we said before. And let me end my presentation now with a real case example. Same product, same machine, same customer, same site. When we arrived there, we found the machine producing 400,000 tablets per hour with an RPM of 56 and with a standard deviation of 2.2. I think you would agree that this is it's not immediately a case where you think we have to improve something. But the customer still thought, let's check the experts from Fette if we can improve this. And as you see on the right side, after we left, the machine was turning with 97 RPM, which brought us to an output of 700,000 tablets on a standard deviation of 1.9%. Of course, not always we can do such significant improvements, but why don't you use the possibility to check your performance and your setup without any risk? We will be very pleased to come to your facility and discuss with you together if we can find some changes to optimize your production. And now, let me hand over to Sarah from Haro Höfliger again. She will present now our last two products, modernization and the Excellence United remote service, the service portal. Sarah, please start.
Arranging a service technician quickly in the event of unplanned machine downtime can be problematic and costly. The Excellence United Service Portal enables service requests to be addressed directly via the machine's central control unit, as the technician accesses the machine via a secure data connection. More than 85% of service issues can be resolved remotely, saving time and money, and enables you to restart your batches quickly. Costs for service visits are largely eliminated. The service portal ensures efficient and stable production and facilitates the documentation of all remote interventions. With the help of augmented reality glasses, there is now an even smarter way to process many tasks. Here, you see a technician supporting a customer with the implementation of settings for process improvements, demonstrating this on a technically identical machine. We also provide direct support for mechanical issues or machine breakdowns via contact with an HH technician. Upgrades and modifications to achieve modernization can address product and format changes and often avoid the need of the development of a new machine, as we can improve machines through retrofits. Our Tech News also keeps you up to date with technical innovations. This significantly reduces setup time and costs and makes the dosing process more stable. In the long term, modernization can save costs over the production time and life cycle of machines, resulting in higher productivity. It allows for customized optimization of machines and processes in close cooperation with you.
And now back to Lars to summarize the lifecycle efficiency of our Excellence United.
Thank you, Sarah. So let me summarize. We just gave you an overview of selected services to support you during the lifecycle process. To get the best results, it's not only important how we support you during the sales process. To achieve the best results, it has to be a partnership between you and us during the whole life cycle. Only if we all work together open-minded, the result will be the optimum. It's our experience combined with your production data, your demands and your wishes, and of course with your experience too, which brings the performance to a maximum. The key is a cooperative together. Thank you very much for listening. We are pleased to answer your questions now, and of course you can contact us still at any time during the Arkema Pulse, but also later via email or phone. We are looking forward getting in contact with you as soon as possible. Thank you very much for listening, and we wish you an informative and exciting time at Arkema Pulse. Goodbye.
Goodbye.